Welcome to the Central School of English Stage 5 video series. In this video, we will learn about when and how to use the time expressions for and since. Each tense in English grammar uses time expressions. Time expressions are words and expressions that refer to time. We use time expressions to help sequence events and to make stories more interesting. When we make past simple statements, we use time expressions, including yesterday, yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, 1 month ago, 2 years ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 seconds ago, 5 decades ago, last month, last week, last year, last night, last October, and last Saturday. For example, she was late for work yesterday morning. They went on holiday last August. When we make present simple statements, we use time expressions including today, every morning, every afternoon, every evening, every night, at the weekends, on Mondays, on Saturdays, in the afternoons, at night, always, and never. For example, I take a shower every morning. He visits his parents at the weekends. She has classes in the afternoons. When we make past continuous statements, we use time expressions such as at 7 p.m. last night, at 4 a.m. this morning, at lunchtime yesterday. We can also use the past continuous with a clause and a verb in the past simple tense. For example, before I started school, before I went to Germany, when I watched a film. Here are examples. I was sleeping at 4 a.m. this morning. It was raining before I started school. When we make present continuous statements, we use time expressions such as now, right now, at the moment, at present, today, and all day. For example, John is eating his lunch now. Linda is working at the moment. We are leaving right now. When we make future statements, we use time expressions such as tomorrow, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, next month, next year, next November, next Christmas, in an hour, in 2 days, in 3 weeks, in 4 months, in 2 days' time, in 3 weeks' time. For example, John will do the shopping tomorrow morning. I will help you tomorrow evening. We are visiting my parents next month. Now, let's learn how to use the time expression for. We use the time expression for to communicate a period of time. We can use the time expression for with all grammar tenses. For example, in the present simple, I work for 8 hours every day. In the past simple, he played football for 2 hours last night. In the present continuous, she is taking an exam for 1 hour. In the past continuous, they were walking for 20 minutes. In the future simple, the students will study for 45 minutes. In the past perfect, we had waited for 10 minutes when the bus arrived. In each example sentence, we used for because we wanted to speak about the amount of time. We said for 8 hours, for 2 hours, for 1 hour, for 20 minutes, for 45 minutes, and for 10 minutes. In each example here, the amount of time has been represented by numbers. This is because when we use for, we are counting the amount of time. Although we can use the time expression for with any tense in English, this time expression is most commonly used with the perfect simple and perfect continuous tenses. Here are some examples of sentences in the present perfect tense. Jane has worked as a hairdresser for 10 years. Mike has played the piano for 15 years. Judith has studied for 3 hours today. The workers have had a break for 30 minutes. I have lived in Dublin for 4 months. The time expression since is also commonly used with the perfect simple and continuous tenses. We use the time expression since to speak about a point in time. We use since when we speak about a point in time when something began in the past. We can use the time expressions since with days. For example, since Monday, since Wednesday morning, since Friday afternoon, since Sunday night. We can also use since with times. For example, since 8 a.m., since 3 o'clock, since 7 o'clock yesterday, since 6 p.m. Wednesday evening, since 11 o'clock last night. We can also use since with months and years. For example, since March, since July, since 1991, since January 2001. We can also use since with verbs in the past simple tense. For example, since I bought my car, since I finished work, since we ate lunch. Here are some examples of present perfect sentences using the time expression since. John has worked here since Christmas. Martin has lived in Texas since 1999. The students have studied since 9 a.m. Have they been on holiday since Monday? He has been in hospital since he had the accident. She has studied English since she moved to Ireland. In this video, we have learned that we use different time expressions for different tenses in English. For example, we have learned that we use time expressions such as last and ago for the past simple, and we use next and in for the future tenses. We learned that we use for and since with the perfect simple and perfect continuous tenses. We use for to speak about an amount of time, and we use since to speak about a point at which a period began. This video was brought to you by the Central School of English, an English school in Dublin. For more lessons, visit centralschool.ie.